Hello, welcome back to class. So this is module 2 level 3 part 1b. This is the second part of our class on how to make underburst corsets. In the first class we started the process of drafting the patterns. I also showed you how to snatch the waistline of your corsets, just like you've seen in this picture. Also, I mentioned to you that this course is a snippet from our advanced online masterclass. If you want to purchase the full course, please follow the seller link in the description box to purchase the fully packed course. Okay, so I'm increasing the width of my dart, and then I also mentioned that you should go ahead and reduce your corset length, at that same point by another 1.5 inches or so. Do you understand? That's your corset width, not the length, sorry, corset width by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So pay attention to how I'm going to cut this out. I'm labeling all of my panels so that you do not get confused. So this is my first panel. I'm going to cut it and then tape them back together. Do you understand? Just so that we can redraw that cup area and have a more accurate curve for the cup. So in taping them back together, I have ensured that I aligned all of my vertical points. You understand? My bust points, underbust, you understand? You can see that they're very well aligned. So now I'm going up from my bust point line by, you can use 1 inch, half inch, depending on how high you want that area to be. And I'm just connecting it back. Do you understand? So this is my cup. This is the midpoint of my cup. I've notched it and I'm aligning that to my bust span line. So in using this cup to draw out your curve, ensure that you cup it. Can you see the way I'm cupping it? Do you understand? Don't make it flat. So ensure that you cup it a bit. Do you understand? So I mistakenly excluded that second dart. You can see my second dart. I didn't cut that out. So I'm going to cut that out and redraw this curve. So I'm also going up on this the side line by half inch, and then I've dropped my center back by 1 inch. Can you see that? So I'm going to cut out that dart and then I'll show you what it looks like. So this is me cutting it out, and I'm just going to cut out the full dart. Do you understand? And then I'll tape it back together and then redraw that cup. So in taping it back together, please pay attention to the fact that all of the bust point line, under bust line, natural waistline must be aligned. Can you see that? And so just tape it back together. The reason for taping this back together on pattern paper is just so that we can draw that cup area properly. Do you understand? So this is what it looks like. Can you see that? So I'm going to go ahead and cup my cup again and then draw it out. Can you see that? So after drawing this out, you can go ahead and separate the panel pieces again. Do you understand? If you want your corset to have, your underbust corset to have stitches like that. But if you don't want to, you can leave it like this, and then I'll show you how to cut it on fabric. So I've cut out my side seam. Can you see that? So I'm going to go ahead and cut out that cup. Can you see what it looks like already? It's already looking nice and clean. Can you see that? Just really, really, really smooth like that. So I'm cutting out the darts at my back. Do you understand? After cutting it out, you can leave them as separate pattern pieces, or you can tape them back together so that you just have one whole piece. But in taping them back together, ensure that you align all of your bust points on the bust. You understand? And then when you're cutting on fabric, ensure that you notch those points so that when you're sewing, all those points would be aligned. So I'm going ahead to cut that out, and then you can leave out that last panel, which is panel 6. Do you understand? So that you have ample space in between your center backs, so that the lacing, you'll be able to pull and lace and snatch the waist very well. Do you understand? So you can exclude that panel 6. Do you understand? As in, you can cut that off completely so that you would have ample space to lace up your corset. So this is what my corset pieces look like. Can you see how clean my snatched waistline is looking like? Really clean and smooth. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim out that corset length, do you understand, so that it will be smooth, because it was no more properly diagonal. So this is what it looks like. And then when you're joining your pattern pieces, you can join the pattern pieces. So this is the grain line, that's the center back, do you understand? So remember the center front to be cut on fold, or if you want a seam at that point, you can divide it into two. So when you finish stitching this point, you can go ahead and put, this is the sewable boning, do you understand? Go ahead and put sewable boning at that point, do you understand? Just to amplify that snatched waist effect. Do you understand? So I'm going ahead to cut out my pattern pieces, including my 0.5 inches seam allowance, and I'm labeling the top of my back pattern so that I do not get confused. So you can see that I cut my own out as a whole. So when you are cutting on fabric, you can cut it like this. Do you understand? Especially if you want to create designs with your boning lines. Do you understand? So you can go ahead and now choose any shape, because this is my pattern without any form of that. Do you understand? This is my perfect fitting corset pattern without any form of that. I've eliminated all of my dots. So you can go ahead and now just create different designs with your boning lines. Do you understand? So this is how this is done. I hope you really learned a lot from this class. If you have, please ensure that you give this video a like. Your hands are idle right now, do you understand, as you are watching? So please make your hands useful. Use it to click on the subscribe button, as well as like this video. So this is a this is one design for your boning that you can use. Can you see that? Just creating diagonal lines towards your waistline, your center front, sorry. Can you see that? Just really nice. So you can do different designs depending on what you are trying to achieve. Do you understand? So this underburst corset method can also be used to create different designs, different trending ashwabi designs, you know, and all of that. I'm also going to be showing you how to use this underburst corset pattern drafting method to create designs like this one that you can see on the screen right now. So aside from doing this, you can also create that design where you just have your boning line come. So this is what your boning line is going to, this is how you can now stitch on your boning. Do you understand? So if you're using sewable boning, you can actually use two, just to make it more sturdy. You can double your boning. Do you understand? For each panel, I'm going to show you how that is done. And in the full class, that's if you purchase the full class, you would see how to double your boning, and then also how to use your boning to create different designs, you know, different shapes. It's just a really packed class. I'm sure that you would be interested in that, and you'd benefit a lot from that class. So you can also change the shape of your boning lines. Can you see what this now looks like? Do you understand? I've done a different form of design. So you can do whatsoever it is that you want. And let me just show you just a summary of how to use double boning lines, you know, just to make it sturdy. So also remember that this snatched waist effect is at your natural waistline. Do you understand? So whatsoever you do, ensure that that natural waistline is your coordinate point. So this is what it looks like. And then if you're using double boning, you stitch on there are two different sizes of boning. First off, if you're using double boning, you have to use different sizes. Do you understand? So you stitch on this one, use it as a bias, and then you insert the smaller one inside. So this smaller one can also be that very stiff one. I think it's called Rigelin boning. Not really sure, I've forgotten the name, but I think it's Rigelin boning. So you can use this sewable boning and then Rigelin boning. So this is the end of our class. You can also use this design, that corset pattern drafting method, to create designs like this as well. So remember that to purchase the full course, please follow the seller link in the description box to do so. Thanks for watching, guys.